But I want to ask you, are mentally tough people born or do they become it?
I think it's both. I think some are actually born with some genetic freakishness. I was not. And what people do so well with me is that they forget the first fucking 4 chapters of that book. And all they fucking do, you know, as you read, you start to forget shit, and then you start to hear about running on broken legs and fucking all this other shit. And these must be, oh my God, pull-up records and this and that. Fucker, don't forget the first 3, 4 chapters when I couldn't read as a junior in high school, where I hid out, where I got called nigger, where I got beat so badly that I became afraid of every motherfucker that ever lived on the planet Earth. Everybody. I had to reinvent a human being. I sat at home for so many fucking nights by myself, broken not just physically, mentally, spiritually, like that chart we have up here with the fucking charity and the fucking family and all that shit. I was looking at it yesterday like this. Fuck. I didn't have any of that shit. Mental toughness, strength, power, shit. I'm like, fuck, man, I was fucked up. But then I sat back and said to myself, I invented a motherfucker. I actually sat back when I was fat, nasty, out of shape, miserable, and created a human being in my mind that didn't even exist. And said, that's what I want to be. I want to be that guy. I want to be a guy that's capable of doing exactly what I'm doing today. And you have to, if you weren't born that guy, that mentally strong guy, he can be made. Woman, man, whatever the hell you are. It can be made. But in making that person, you have to be able to turn down book deals. You have to be who the fuck you are every day of your life and never care about anybody who gets in your way that says you're not doing something the proper way. I was always afraid of people not wanting to, like, when you get beat as bad as I did, I lied all the time. I wanted to be accepted and loved and all that shit that I created about 50 people. Whatever you like, I like. Just if you would be my friend, just be my friend. And that's where we get lost in life.
Okay, so what do you say to the girl or guy sitting in this audience that has got a bit of a predisposition to want to be liked by many or most?
If you don't get over that, you're doomed. Because what happens is this, you start to create a whole bunch of people that aren't even yourself. You never figure out who you are. You never live up to your dreams, your ambition. You live up to what whoever is around you that you like so much, that you want to emulate and be like so much, you live their dreams. You lose your power. You lose your power. The ultimate power is owning yourself.
David, I'm trying to work out. There's a point that there's this just change that happens. Mm-hmm. Right? There's this point where you've burned the boats and you're saying that I'm trying to work out, can change happen? Can change happen if you don't have total darkness? Because you've had, you were, for those of you, for nearly everyone here would know, terrible upbringing, a father that assaulted mother. Your first half of your life sounds extremely challenging. You had a disadvantage to start off with, right? But what if there's people that haven't had darkness? Can they actually do a change?
They can. And I get that question a lot. While it helps you, it also hurts you to come from darkness, because why? It's easy for me to sit back and say, you know what? Poopy pants mentality. I want to sit back and let the world take care of me now. And that's what I'm talking about. Don't play sick too long. While my childhood was so messed up, I played sick way too long, and I almost lost tons of opportunities by playing sick. Because it feels good to play sick. My dad beat the fucking shit out of me, man. I couldn't read. I can't read. You know, when I was a junior in high school, I couldn't read. If you lived that life,
Yeah.
it feels good for people to, oh man, you know, that's just David, man. He's just not real smart and he had a bad life. And you get a get out of jail free card. That's nice. It sucks doing what I had to do to get here today. That was not fucking fun. That darkness is, there's nothing that dark to drive me to the places I had to go to become successful. On the flip side of that, if you come from a silver spoon family, you have to realize that. You have to realize, fuck, there's people out there like David Goggins who had nothing, fucking nothing. And I've had all this opportunity in front of me, and I'm a loser. I'm not shit. So what does that say about me? The conversations are very similar. You have all this opportunity, and you've gone nowhere with it. I'm at the bottom of the barrel, and it could take me a lot longer just to get where you're at for the starting line, to be fair. So yeah, it's just how you look at the life.
Can I ask you, we live in a world where you can go onto YouTube or Audible, or you can go to a seminar like now. The answers are out there. People know, generally speaking, in life, business, and health, what they need to do. The information is out there.
Right.
What are your best tips to people that have come to this great event to move to a step of action, to if they've been procrastinators, if they've been people that, sometimes there's people that are course junkies. They go to a lot of events.
Right.
And what happens is they know the information, but somewhere along the line, the execution doesn't take place. What do you say to them?
Well, the most important thing about all that is you have to go, there's always a blockade. There's a barrier in your brain. There's a barrier. You got to find out what kind of removes that barrier from your brain. My biggest barrier was my father. And once I removed that barrier, I was free to think. And once I felt good about myself, I was free to put action in. I never felt good about myself. I never felt good about myself. Whenever I would get somewhere, the demon would come back, pull me right back in the cage. If you don't go back, like I'm a runner, left knee hurts. A lot of people focus on that fucking left knee. A lot of times it's your fucking right hip. And that's about life. You gotta figure out what has messed you up mentally.
Go to the source.
Go to the source. Go to the origin of the source.
Like peeling an onion, strip it down.
And that's what I did to myself. So that, you know, that whole accountability mirror.
Did you do it on your own? Did you do it with any help?
Every single thing I've ever done that's in that book or anywhere else was on my own. Everything. My mom worked 3 jobs. I was raised in a town of 10,000 people where the KKK marched in the 4th of July parade in 1995. There wasn't a lot of fucking help. My first car got spray painted nigger all over it. And I was so dumb at that time. People say, oh, don't call yourself dumb. I was fucking dumb at that time. That they spelled nigger Niger. Y'all motherfuckers can laugh. I know there's a lot of white people in here, it's okay. And I went to the principal, and the principal said, "That's all you can tell me." And my mom knew about none of this because I felt so sorry for her and how she grew up, or kind of grew up because she was 19 when she met my father. And I saw this young woman just become a shell of herself. She's 72 now, and still, she has everything, everything. And she still lives back there. Cannot live in the present where she has everything. All the money she wants, she's healthier than me, everything. But the demon brings her back in the cage. So, yeah, man, it's just,
It's like, your view, is life suffering?
there's a part of it that has to be about suffering. And people hate it when I post about suffering, this whole new kindler, gentler, soft-ass fucking world, they just fucking, oh God, this is horrible. We talking about, no. Suffering, if you know how to do it without making it out to be like, I'm not talking about you have to go through cancer. But I guarantee one thing, man. I bet you're a better motherfucker mentally if you look at it the right way. Everything I went through in my life, every bad fucking thing I went through in my life, the 2 heart surgeries, all the name calling, being everything I went through. If you learn how to flip that motherfucker on top of his head and say, hang on, there's so much power in this fucking thing. And if you look at life as it is a trial ground, a testing ground for where you need to belong, where you need to go, suffering is a fact of life. And if you look at suffering the right way, it's a great tool to callous your mind. If you look at it as suffering, woe is me, this is bullshit, God, kicking rocks. If you look at it like, okay, motherfucker, you're testing me now. I get it. Whenever I'm being like depressed, I go through depressed moments, I go, oh, hang on. I'm getting tested. So you have to be aware of all the signals and signs that are being given to you from the world. One of them is if you feel bad, you're being tested. How are you going to perform under that? And that's suffering is a part of life, very needed.